Is this Chelsea squad just Jude Bellingham away from setting the world alight? I mean, I think we were talking more about a striker rather than a man in his position this evening, weren't we?
Yeah, I think that's the more pressing issue. I think Jude Bellingham, obviously, I think he'd walk into any team in the world and make them better. This Chelsea team would fit that as well, but I think a number 9, an out-and-out number 9 is going to get on the end of things. You've got to think they've still got Lukaku under contract.
Yeah.
Like, do you think, is Potter even considering him? Like, I know he's out of sorts at Chelsea, he's not really playing at all, but is he someone that he thinks could maybe be one of the missing links and give him another opportunity at Chelsea? I mean, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest position to get for obvious reasons, the hardest thing to do, score goals. And also, you look at all the top strikers in Europe. Lewandowski's still the top striker. He's in his mid-30s, you know. We've just seen the end of Cristiano going to Saudi Arabia, but there isn't many out there that you can go, guaranteed goals. Harry Kane will never go to Chelsea, so he's off it. Erling Haaland's already at Man City.
Osimhen at Napoli, maybe?
Osimhen at Napoli's an option, but they'll be queuing up for him, so there's going to be a premium.
Chelsea have so much money to spend and are not afraid to spend it. You know, they will go and they will scour Europe in the summer. They'll go and buy. You could imagine them buying 2 or 3 strikers.
Diego Costa was the last Chelsea striker to score more than 20 league goals, and
they won the league that year.
Exactly. It's a very simple formula, football. I know Pep's. You know, he's changed that, hasn't he? He's not played with a striker but he had such a strong squad. But you need someone to put the ball in the back of the net on a regular basis.
Well, these are all the comments that are coming in. Nico says the amount of chances Chelsea's had to score this game is laughable. It should be 3-1 at minimum. The Chelsea fans blog say got punished for not taking our chances, still without a number 9, but lots of positives to build on ahead of the second leg.
I agree with that text.
Well, and this is similar, actually, Alex saying Chelsea very close to getting it right. The quality of football is getting better, but someone's got to score. So we can have a look, actually, at some of the chances this evening. And I think, you know, let's just be really clear that this should be a positive night for Chelsea, apart from that last moment getting the ball in the net, shouldn't it?
Yeah, there'll be positives to draw on. I think you've always got to try and find positives, even in a defeat, this has been a disappointing result. But on the counter-attack in the first half, which seemed like a ploy, they got into these areas really well. Beautiful football, patient, and it was just that last element we spoke about, just to finish him.
He's got to go across the goalie there, hasn't he? You know, and that's João Félix. That's a lovely pass, really. And again, look, you got Havertz breaking in. I like the fact that they're getting support up here. Chelsea leaving him. Well, they're not actually. Looking at that there, I thought it was his first chance again. They're getting support up again. João Félix. This is a lovely touch, but it's just rushed, isn't it? At the last minute.
Why though? Like these are
anxiety creeps into it.
Do you think there's anxiety?
I do. You listen. Any goal scorer tell you they live and die by goals, and no one at Chelsea is hitting the numbers that they should.
But none of these are strikers that aren't scoring.
But when you're under pressure and your team aren't winning, I wasn't a striker, but you would sense it in your team. Some players tighten up in those situations. When things are going well and you're scoring 3 or 4 goals, you're winning games, you're on a winning streak of 5 or 6 games, your strikers, they go into them situations ice cold, and their body language is very relaxed. There you can see there's a bit of a tightening up because everyone's so desperate to score because they know what it means and the results aren't going perfectly well at the moment. So it makes it different. But again, like Joe spoke on the show before, repetition in training, working on the training field. You saw Graham Potter speak in his press conference after, speaking about on the training field, things are going well, people are working hard enough. And if you are working hard, I always believed in that, you'll get your rewards at some point and you get a rub of the green.
Yeah, the logical, when you manage players and they're not making, then they're making sort of technical errors like strike. You can't just be like, you've got to hit the target, but more stress on. You've got to be like relaxed, calm. Just maybe do a session where it's an easy finish for them. Build their confidence, come back to it, arm round the shoulder. If you've got a team that are not fighting hard, not being aggressive, not pulling out the tackle, not being diligent, that's when you probably, as a manager, usually you'll go on the front foot and then you can be confrontational in your build up to the game because you want a response. But I think Graham Potter's the perfect manager to get them out of this because he is the epitome of calm. He'll just be balanced, and the players will get there.
Joe, in these situations, we've both been there when you're struggling for a bit of confidence and form, and you're struggling to get goals. Who do you look to?
You look to experienced players. You look
your
to
number 9.
Yeah.
You look to your number 9, Van Nistelrooy, in times of
which they can't do.
In Rooney, Drogba, Costa, these people, just the people you're looking for who want that chance to come their way, even if they've missed it 3 or 4 times.
So if you were him, would you go to Aubameyang and just go, right, you're back in the fold.
Well, he's not in the squad for the Champions League.
Well,
so.
no, but for the Premier League.
I think that's a tough call to make. That's a big blow for. If Aubameyang was a young player, you could probably get him back on side in the Premier League.
The centre back's doing that. Isn't he? He's playing in the league.
Yeah,
Premier League.
yeah.
He's not in the Champions League squad.
But he's building. He's on the bottom end of his career. Aubameyang, it's a huge blow to the ego for what's happened to him, and whether you can rely on him in a Premier League match, it'll be a big call for Potter. And
Such a weird situation, isn't it, to have ended up in this position without a striker?